Hey, what's up everyone? So I've been reorganizing my collection, and when I do that, it gives me a nice opportunity to take a close look at some of my favorite pops on an individual basis, to go down memory lane, and also appreciate some of the nice details of the pops in my collection. Now over the years, pop protectors have gotten a lot better. I noticed that some of my older pops are in really flimsy, cheap protectors that are basically dust jackets, which honestly is the biggest enemy of collectibles, right? I mean, of course you don't want to get them wet or damaged, but when you have your collection displayed, it's the dust that is your biggest enemy. But if you're like me and you like to rearrange your collection a lot, or if you need to move, or if you need to put part of it in storage, then damage starts to become a big issue. And those super flimsy pop protectors just don't cut it anymore. So it was absolute perfect timing that the people over at Vaulted Vinyl reached out and asked if I would like to check out some of their protectors. I have had heard of them before. I actually really like their logo on top, but some of the cool features of these are that they have the UV protection. I think a lot of people don't realize how important that is. Like, if you have your collection or part of your collection on a bookshelf in a bedroom where you open up your windows, yeah, the sun isn't hitting them directly, but over time, over the years, that little bit of sunlight starts to fade your box. It starts to bleach it. And you may not even notice it until you hold that pop up against one that hasn't been touched by the sun at all. So to me, the UV protection is a big deal. Scratch resistance is nice. They're very thick. This is a big one too, the stacking. Like, a lot of protectors bubble at the top, so you need to put them against like a wall or something for them to actually stack. But if you want to stack them on a bookshelf or, you know, anywhere that's not up against a wall, it's kind of nice that these have a nice flat top, so you can stack 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want, without them leaning back. Some of the cheaper protectors, it's very hard to stack them up above 2 or 3 without them wanting to lean back and just, you know, not being able to actually be displayed in the protectors. Reinforced edges. Use in seconds. We'll put that to the test. I'm a bit of a dummy, so it might take me more than a few seconds to put these together. And I gotta say, comes in a nice package. Protect your passion. Nice slogan there. Here's the back if you want to pause and check that out. So as you can see, even the way they pack them up, nice and protected. Looks like there's a layer of plastic in between each one. Very nice all around. And something I really like, because I can be a little lazy, is that they don't have a piece of protected film around it. They have the paper and they have the plastic around them as they ship, so they don't need that, which is nice. Okay, so that has got to be the easiest process ever. So just to compare, here's a really cheap one. I mean, look how straight everything is on these, how stiff and firm. And then we'll do this one to compare. So you see how easy this one snapped together, perfectly straight? Look at this one. See that? So you have to crease it additionally. And they have this film. And mind you, I have practice with this particular protector, so I kind of know exactly how to put it together, but the first few times it was such a pain. And as you see, you know, no matter how much you crease them, they stay crooked. And they're super flimsy. So, quick comparison. But these are quite nice. Okay, so you don't even have to crease the flaps either. They have this special edge on there. Very nice. Awesome. Very impressed by that. So the first pop I want to share that's one of my absolute favorites is LEELOO from The Fifth Element. This was one of the very first series that I wanted to complete when I first started collecting Funko Pops. I was buying random ones here and there, but this is the first one that I really wanted to complete, and I'm glad I did. At the time, I think I paid something like $7 to $8 for each one. Found most of them at Hot Topic. I might have bought one off of eBay, something like that, but it was like $10, $12. At the time, Funko Pops skyrocketing in price, especially the common ones, weren't a normal thing. So I was able to get this whole set pretty cheap for retail, basically, and now they're all quite valuable, all of them. And this is one of my favorite ones. Came out really well, and at the time, the bodies weren't as detailed, so this one kind of stood out. They all did. Really a nice set. And, you know, I have fond memories of this movie. It was one of the first times I ever went out on a date. Like in high school, I picked The Fifth Element, which probably wasn't the smartest. I don't know about teen girls nowadays, but teen girls in the 90s weren't big science fiction fans. Especially really goofy science fiction. So my date was visibly bored. Which is fine. It worked out. I just always think about that when I see The Fifth Element or I see it on TV or something like that. But let's see how it goes in. So one of the things I do like about this is that it's not super tight on here. Some protectors, you have to really force them in. It could scratch the front of your box. So that's nice. And I'm one of those that goes in through the back with the flaps. They're snapping quite nicely. And if you see, nice and flat already on top. Good for stacking. And yeah, these feel super solid. Like, the corners feel quite nice. Very impressed with that. Alright, another one that's one of my favorite pops. Not too valuable yet, but I do feel once this one gets vaulted, if it ever gets vaulted, this could be one of the ones that Funko keeps making to have just a few available, you know, at their flagship stores all the time or on their actual Funko shop online. But the MORTON Salt Girl is definitely one of my favorites. I love cooking. Grew up cooking with my mom, and this is a constant staple. MORTON salt, the kosher salt, just the smallish kind of bottle. Use it in everything, the best salt. But I think she came out really quite perfect, the way they translated. So that's what she looks like right there. So yeah, it really translated well into pop form, and I like it better than, there's an exclusive that's diamond. This looks way better. There's even some texture on the salt. It's just adorable. Definitely one of my favorite pops of all time. Really impressed with how easy that is. No creasing necessary. Goes right in. I like how it says protect your passion there on the flap. Nice. Another one of my absolute favorite pops is the Chase Duck Dodgers. And first of all, I think the design's awesome. And it's one of the first Pops that had a dome on the head like that. Maybe the first one, or the first one I saw anyways. There might have been one that's like, I forget if it's the regular show. One of those that has a gumball head, gumball machine head. That might have been before this one, but this is the first one I remember seeing that had a clear dome like that. Really made it stand out. I love the metallic. It's perfect for this Pop. The regular is just, you know, non-metallic. I even love the artwork, but one of the things that makes it special to me is it's the very first Chase Pop that I actually found in the wild. That I didn't get lucky, you know, and get through the mail or actually purchase on eBay or anything like that. It's the first one that I actually found in store, and it was a really great feeling. One of the best feelings at the time. Chases weren't as prevalent. They were still 1 in 6 or whatever the number was back then, because they used to be more rare, and then they changed it to 1 in 6. But still, they just didn't seem to be as common everywhere. So was really happy to find this Chase. Really good collecting memory, and I think the Pop is just really cool looking. Yeah, they totally lay flat. Very nice. Perfectly straight. Really never seen that before. Pretty awesome. Another one of my absolute favorites is this Halloween or Funkoween colorway for Amazing Carlos, which is one of Funko's original characters. Kind of reminds me of like Super Dave, or you know, a race car driver, or even like some kind of daredevil, right? Like Super Dave was. But what I really like about this one is the way they painted the face with the different shadows there, the sculpt, the teeth. I love the tongue sticking out. I love that it has 31 on the helmet for Halloween. And he has the gas can that he appears to be drinking gas out of. Just awesome. And this one's pretty rare, one of my rarest ones. 1,500 pieces. Got pretty lucky to get this one. For 1,500 pieces, this one actually didn't sell out right away. I want to say it did take a few minutes, maybe 5 to 15. It's been a while, 2016. But I want to say it did take 5 to 15 minutes to sell out, which nowadays is kind of unheard of, right? Like, you know, there's pieces that are 20,000 pieces and they sell out, you know, within seconds sometimes, depending on the character. But I think it's because this isn't licensed, right? It's just spastic plastic. But design-wise, it's definitely one of my favorites. And I love Halloween, and it's one of the cooler Funko stickers they've ever made. And lastly, this one has been recently vaulted. So if you don't have it and you really want it, I would advise you to get it sooner than later, because it might start to climb in price, because Harley Quinn is a really popular character. This is her original form, and it's her in the nightgown, which is pretty cool. I'm surprised this one wasn't more popular. I would imagine that if you're a Harley Quinn fan, you love the original animated series Harley Quinn, and especially her in the nightgown. It's a pretty cool, memorable pop. It's definitely my favorite version of Batman out of anything, out of all the movies, out of all the comics, out of anything. I love Batman, the animated series, the most. And Harley Quinn, one of my favorite characters to this day.
Go away, I'm busy.
Aw, come on, Puddin'. Don't you want to rev up your Harley? Vroom, vroom.
And yeah, thanks to Vaulted Vinyl for helping me protect my 4 inches. Always use protection, guys. And I have to admit that these are the best protectors I've ever used. The UV protection, the stacking is a big deal. Of course, they protect from dust, and they seem strong enough to protect from damage. You can really tell how solid these edges are. So thank you, Vaulted Vinyl, and thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite Funko Pops are, regardless of price, because not all of these are valuable here. Honestly, I think LEELOO might be the only one that's worth anything right now. Carlos might be worth like 30 bucks or something. But yeah, let me know what your favorite Pops are, regardless of price. Alright, use protection. Love you. Bye.
And